Hello YouTube, this is Miss O speaking. This is going to be a response to a very good comment left by a viewer with the YouTube name Autogamerz. It's a very well thought out and thorough comment, and I really appreciate it, and this is the kind of dialogue that I was hoping for. I'll be leaving the text of the comment in the description box so that viewers can refer to it as I provide my response in this clip. Here we go. I disagree that Section 377A exists simply because it was left over from British colonialism and just never removed. As you clearly know, that it was evaluated, it was reviewed and updated to meet the demands and needs of Singaporean society. I mean, it's not like it's some speed limit for horse-drawn carriages, like it was left over in the books like an oversight, you know. Whatever the initial reasons were behind the rule, whether it be religiously based or not, is irrelevant. There was debate over keeping the law, and the conclusion was that it should remain. And yes, public health was one of the major points that won the argument, and continues to be the case. Okay, next. Your contention that protected anal sex is just as safe as protected vaginal sex is not accurate. Okay, condom breakage during anal sex is more than twice as likely to occur as in vaginal sex, which then, of course, exposes both parties to the same level of risk as unprotected anal sex. Next point, you claim that Section 377A increases risk because men will go and engage in anal sex in secret without any protective measures. I'm just wondering, because there's nothing in Section 377A that prevents men from buying condoms. And there's nothing in Section 377A that prevents them from getting health checkups. So I don't see how that argument makes any sense. Okay, it is not sound argument to say that something illegal should be made legal or should be legalized just because people are doing it in secret anyway. Hey, people break speed limits when no one is looking too, but that doesn't mean that we have to do away with road safety, Next, you chose to focus on my point about the future sexual encounters that someone's sexual partner might have. Okay, but ignore the part about the past sexual encounters that they may have already had, which is obviously a serious danger factor. You may be trusting someone who is lying to you about their infection. You may also be lying to them about your infection, which, yes, would impact all of their future sexual encounters. Two adults may be both consenting, but one or both partners may be lying, and this lie can victimize one of them, and who knows how many others in the future, especially if one of the infected partner is bisexual and transmits the virus outside the gay community and potentially even to unborn children. And this is an even greater concern given the fact that statistically gay relationships are not monogamous. You said that each person is responsible for themselves to make sure that they have sex safely. And again, you can apply that to driving, but you still have laws to regulate that. You said that I'm unequally applying the argument to homosexuals and not to heterosexuals. You're right, I am. Precisely because the risks are greater and don't warrant the same treatment. You reiterated the argument that legalizing gay anal sex would reduce the risks, but there is no reason to believe that to be the case. The risks have nothing to do with legality or otherwise. In the United States, for instance, as acceptance for the LGBT lifestyle has spread like never before, the rate of new HIV cases has increased in every racial segment of the gay community except white people, where it has only slightly decreased. That is, after the legalization of not only gay sex, but same-sex marriage. So no, legalization does not make it any safer. If, as you say, homosexuality is not an identity, which is certainly not a concept that I invented, but something that the gay community has claimed for ages, but that it is a sexuality, then again, the law does not interfere. You're still allowed to be attracted to the same gender. You're just not allowed to have anal sex with them. And the next point, I am not very sure what you were getting at, talking about the law forbidding the right side of the pie and allowing the left side of the pie. Are you saying that the law forbids anal sex between two men, but not between a man and a woman? Is that the right and left side of the pie? If that's what you meant, then the right side of that pie produces about 75% of new HIV cases. So yeah, one half is safer than the other. Again, you talk about what homosexuality is, that it is a form of sexuality and not an identity. And I agree with you. The LGBT community has turned it into an identity. And on the basis of it being an identity, they are campaigning for special rights as a minority group. But okay, it is a sexuality, a feeling of attraction for one's own gender. Again, that is not prohibited in Section 377A. Alright, you keep saying that you've disproved the public health argument as if you did. What you said was an opinion that frankly doesn't make any sense. As if somehow because gay anal sex is illegal, that somehow means that the entire gay community is in the dark about why it's illegal, i.e. because it's highly risky. As if 377A is a prohibition on condoms and the publishing of information on STDs. As to your conclusion, actually the gay community seems to be confused about what homosexuality is because they seem to believe that it is their all-encompassing identity. I believe that you are confused about what causes the public health risk because it's certainly not caused by Section 377A, but rather by the gay anal sex that the law prohibits. I know very well the origins of the law, and I am aware of the thorough evaluation made of the law that determined that it should remain intact. But again, thank you for the comment, and I really appreciate the exchange of views. This is Miss O. Until next time.